did have more balls than brains.
Bye, Benny. So when The Mummy and The Mummy Returns came out when I was a kid, I was enthralled with what I saw up on screen. It was like the epitome of the swashbuckling serial adventures, much in vein of like The Phantom, The Shadow, or even The Rocketeer. And to this day, I adore those films. Not so much Tomb of the Emperor Dragon, and then we got The Scorpion King, but apparently there are more Scorpion King films. Stand by. So we got The Scorpion King 2 Rise of a Warrior that was released in 2008. We got Scorpion King 3 Battle for Redemption that was released in 2012 with Billy Zane. Holy shit. We got Scorpion King 4 Quest for Power that was released in 2015. And a fifth and final film, The Scorpion King Book of Souls, that was released in 2018. Slow the fuck down. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Welcome back to another Screen Used Props episode. Now, if the costume isn't a dead giveaway, we're going to be checking out some Screen Used Props from The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Now, this is my old Rick O'Connell cosplay. Funny enough, I got this gun holster rig from Todd's Costumes many years ago. Sold it to a friend of mine, Morgan, who was in Canberra. And a couple of months ago, I just had an inkling and a hankering to do this cosplay once again, because I love Rick O'Connell's cosplay. I love Brendan Fraser as Rick O'Connell. So I messaged him. I said, dude, do you still have it? He goes, yeah, man. You want it back? And here we are, reunited after all these years. So I thought I'd sport this costume for the actual video. So we've got 12 listings to look at. But if you guys are familiar with the Screen Used Props videos, I like to do little cheeky shout outs and honorable mentions at the beginning of the video. So I want to give a massive shout out to my dear friend Alex, who has Movie Magic 30 on Instagram, who has some banger Screen Used Props from The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Now, first up, he has a screen used gong from the end of The Mummy Returns when Imhotep summons the Scorpion King, that god-awful looking CGI render of Dwayne Johnson as the Scorpion King. So I'm going to be reading the descriptions that Alex has sent me, accompanied with the photos that he sent me, because he sent me a lot. The guy was just incredible and just very descriptive. So a massive thank you, man. I do appreciate it. It makes my job a lot more easier. So this is the hero gong mallet that Imhotep uses to summon the Scorpion King and block the axe from Rick. You can tell it's the one used because the actor broke the head and they had to glue it back and wrap it with that handkerchief. And you see that right there. I love little bits like that. And you can also see the middle where it's chipped, where Imhotep is deflecting the blow from Rick. Now, Alex also has a special effects gauntlet that Imhotep wears in The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, and he says there's still sand on it from production. I love stuff like that, man. This is very cool. This is one of the masks used in The Mummy 1999. It was screen matched by the marking on its head, as you can see right there. And it's currently getting restored. And one of the final pieces that Alex sent me, and this one's a bit of a tragic one, but it will eventually have a happy ending. This was the last remaining warrior head from a scene that was cut from The Mummy Returns. The scene would have shown what happened to the fourth mummy that was chasing Rick and his family on the double-decker bus. It was built to blow up when Rick puts his shotgun in its mouth. It was destroyed during shipping and is getting fully restored as we speak. And you see right there, it is in a bit of crook condition, but like I said, it will have a happy ending because it is getting restored. So a massive thank you to Alex for sending those pieces through, man. Severely jealous. Now, like I said, we've got 12 listings to go through. They're ranging from hero props, costume pieces. Like I said, I'm obsessed with Brendan Fraser's getup as Rick O'Connell, and it's pretty much stayed the same with The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. There is a bit of a glaring issue with the last listing that I want to talk about, so much so it's actually brought something else up within the Child's Play world with the current auction that's happening on the prop store. I don't know whether to do a separate video about it, but yeah, it's a whole nother thing in itself. And it's hard because I love going through these prop store auctions and seeing these screen use pieces, but sometimes these pieces aren't always what they seem to be when it comes to the description and the authenticity. Usually I will always make sure that what I'm looking at is screen used, it's authentic, but there have been times where it's been a little bit misleading. Not with stuff that I've looked at, but other things that people have noticed, people that have created stuff for the film that have seen these listings and thought, that ain't it, man. Anyway, on with the show. Now, first up, we have something from The Mummy Returns. This is a life-size mummified royal guard that went for £18,750. Quite a steal, if you ask me, considering it's life-size and just the design, the detail, everything that's gone into it. It looks badass, man. This is something that I would love to have in my collection. If you had like a home theater room and you had a screen-used Rick O'Connell costume, I would love to have this next to it. But just look at all that detail, man. It's just, look at all that. All that. It's like old bits of burlap and stuff like that. The rotted teeth. That looks gnarly. That looks absolutely gnarly and manky. But then also the beautiful decorative work on the costume, but even the nice turquoise weathering on that piece of bicep armor. So it does come on a stand and all that. Again, like life size, in good nick. It's an apt description to me. Okay, gotcha. That's very cool. So that's from the beginning of the film. Okay, yeah, they've screen matched those pieces there, those dents, those chips. Very cool. Looks like his head's tilted in a different direction, but that's pretty awesome nonetheless. Next up, we have another Mummy Returns piece. This is Nefertiti's, aka Rachel Weisz's fighting costume from the flashback sequence when she's going up against Anaxunamun with the size. 5,535 pounds. Again, like stuff like this you think would go for more considering the intricate detail work, especially for period costumes like this, man. Like they did not muck around when it came to stuff like this. They put in the work, they put in the detail, but like zooming in here, like all this beading work, it takes so long. Like I didn't realize how much work goes into it until I met Chloe, and she's got a fashion degree and she used to do the beading and all that, and she's like, it just takes forever. It is a punish, but worth it in the end. But look at the way these pieces reflect the light. Just all the work that goes into sourcing these pieces, these fabrics, these leathers, these beads, just to make sure it reads well on camera, it reflects well on camera. What is this fabric? Like, it looks amazing. Like it looks like something you'd get at like a specialty fabric store, not at Joann's. And just the way this drapes down, like this is the stuff I love, man. Just engineered beautifully and to read well on screen. So this is the manufacturer, Paddy Dickey UK. So yeah, the costumes for the most part were fabricated in the UK, and you'll see that with one of Brendan Fraser's costumes. Next up, we have the Scorpion King's bracelet from The Mummy Returns, a very iconic and cool piece. 6,710 pounds. Again, like not much considering how vital it is in the film and how important, how much of an important role it plays. I mean, look at all the detail on that, man. I always loved this thing when I first saw the film. So it's a lot smaller than what I thought, 6 inches. That's what she said? You got a lot of turnaround photos of this particular piece. That is right there, whether it is that particular one. This metal bracelet is plated in faux gold chrome and features a solid figure of the scorpion. Okay, alright, so it is metal, but it's faux gold chrome. Never heard of that before. That's a new buzzword for me. Next up, we have Ardeth Bay, aka Oedfair's battle robes. I love this, man, in The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. The dude has aged like fine wine. He's the epitome of a silver fox at its finest. Like these facial tattoos, the costumes that he sports, he's just a cool character in both films. 995 pounds. I don't buy stupid use of words. I don't believe that. There's no way that that sold for under £1,000, man. Considering how iconic it is. Again, like there's some stuff with the prop store that you've got to take with a grain of salt, unfortunately. And it sucks because they've got so many cool pieces, but at the same time, there's some things that you're like, eh. So Angels and Bermans, they're the ones that also made Rick's costumes that you'll see in a bit. So they're based in London and they do a shitload of costumes for film. Man, I would have bought this. Look at him. Look at him. He's an absolute stud. Oh wait, hang on. Small label inside the long robes, which reads Oedfair, Ardeth Bay, and DBL. Like, does that mean double? Like he's stunt double? I don't know, man. We have our first piece from The Mummy. We've got Rick O'Connell's hero sword from the end of the film. They've only got one photo. 3,900 pounds, made with an aluminium blade incorporating 3 blood grooves. The sword has black and gold guard decorated with scarab designs on both sides. The grip is made up of plastic rings, finishing in cream and blue, and is suspended between metal rings. It is a beautiful looking sword, man, and part of that beautiful one-take shot that Brendan Fraser did on his own, and then they added in the Mummy's post-production. Imhotep's animatronic arm from The Mummy, 3,625 USD. So is this one of the things where it's a stand-in? Okay, so it's like a stand-in practical hand for the actor. This is the sequence with Benny when he holds up all the different religious necklaces when he's trying to get out of a bad situation. So it just seems like a practical thing that he'd interact with, and then they'd drape over it with CGI and then fill in the rest of Imhotep. Rick O'Connell's Revolver from The Mummy. This looks like a stunt one, the rubber one. 1873 pistols. I do want to 3D print a set of these for this particular cosplay, because I've always used the Colt M1 911s, but I definitely want to print the authentic ones that he uses predominantly in the film. Now, how much does this one sell for? 1,586 pounds. Yeah, not bad, considering that it was going to go for 600 to 800 pounds. So yeah, this looks like his stunt ones as well. So they'd be rubberized and just flex, and you know, if you fall on it, you're not gonna hurt yourself. They got that screenshot there. Pay the man, would you? Made of hard rubber painted with a grey metallic finish. Yep, there you go. Now I know this is a duffel bag, but it's part of a pretty awesome and badass shot when Rick O'Connell sneaks up on Evie, slams the bag down and rolls it out to show his arsenal. I just, the way Brendan Fraser looks like a badass when he does it, I love it. So you can see right there. So the screenshot that they've mashed it up to when they're on the boat before the boat gets attacked. Look at that. It'd be cool if it still came with all the weaponry, but unfortunately this piece is empty. But like, look at all that, man. That's beautiful craftsmanship right there. I'd definitely use it. I don't know what I'd put in it. I may use it as my gym bag. How much did this one go for? So between 800 to 1,200 pounds, 1,830. Not bad. Not bad at all. Next up, we have a sacred kobic jar. Now, some of these auctions only have one photo because they're very, very old and out of date, but they obviously archive them on the prop store. So this one sold for 2,280 pounds. And that's pretty much it. This is a rubber one, I think. Made of dense, semi-translucent rubber. The hollow jar is made in the visage of an Egyptian god Horus and features the hieroglyphics across the front. So just a little stunt rubber kobic jar. Okay, the last three pieces are badass, iconic, and I can't believe they didn't sell for more. So first up is the Hero Practical Mechanical Hamanoptera key. The Hero one, the actual practical working one. So it sold for 46... Sound like Mike Tyson just then. 46,875 pounds. I thought it would have gone for at least like 60 or 70,000 pounds. But nonetheless, man, this is it. This is the real McCoy. This is the mechanical one that they built for the film. Look at that on all the hinges, the way it turns, everything, the mechanics that have gone into this. I love shit like this when things are real, practical, they work. You see a bit of flaking there, just the paint coming off. So it looks like it was machined and like milled out of aluminium. I'll have to check the description. There's a screenshot there with Evie and Jonathan. There it is there. Now let's actually see what it's made out of. The key is made of metal, painted, and intentionally distressed to look like ancient bronze. That doesn't help. It looks like it'd be machined out of aluminium, possibly. I don't know. Just the way the scuffing looks there, it does look like dulled aluminium. I don't know. Could be wrong. I'm sure someone will know. Second last, we have the Functional Hero Golden Book of the Living. That went for 68,750 pounds. Look, it's still a big chunk of change, even with the key as well. That is crazy, man. But this is the practical one, just like the key. Like, imagine having these two pieces together, the book and the key. They're just, that's the ultimate mummy collection right there when it comes to screen use stuff, man. Just the detail, the work that's gone into all of these pieces. Look at all that, just little details that you would never see on screen, but that's what I do love about looking through these auctions. You can see these photos up close, see all the details, see all the work that's gone into this by the artisans, the prop builders, the costumers, everything. Look at the back there, stuff is starting to flake off. Now let's see what this piece is made from. And please don't say it's just metal. This heavy book is primarily made of resin, finished in gold paint to resemble solid gold, and features several intentionally tarnished bronze components. Okay, so it's resin. No metal pieces, resin, okay. It also features a large moving circular resin lock section, which is finished in shadows, faux bronze, and displays embedded sun-shaped emblem. Interesting. Ooh, you can open it up. Look at that, man. Just, I love when it comes to like books or anything like that where you don't necessarily see all the pages inside, but a prop person has gone in and done all the work, all the markings, all the readings, just, you just don't know. Just the attention to detail, sometimes it just goes unnoticed. There's a scarab, a little shit. And last but not least, Rick O'Connell's costume from the beginning of The Mummy. So when he's fighting alongside Benny and Benny chickens out and then Rick fucks off out of there. So I don't know if this is a mishmash of his regular costume like what I'm wearing and the jacket that he sports at the beginning of the film again when he's fighting alongside Benny. 11,250 pounds. Like, a lot less than what I thought it would go for. So again, I think it may be a mishmash because this is quite weathered, and when he gets attacked and cornered, his jacket is still on. So very well could be a bit of a mishmash. So again, Angels, the costumers, double as in, DBL as in double, stage 3, stunt double, Brendan Fraser, April 2000. That's really cool. I love shit like that, man. Brendan Fraser, April 1998. Wait, hang on. 2000. So does that mean this is The Mummy Returns? What's going on here, guys? Brendan Fraser, April 1998. Okay. Yes, those are those screenshots. And then this is from The Mummy's, and this is from The Mummy Returns. So wait, hang on. Let's see what this description said. The jacket is labeled Brendan Fraser, April 1998. The shirt is labeled Stage 3 Double. The trousers are labeled Stunt Double Brendan Fraser, April 2000. The costume pieces have been initially distressed to look well worn with stains and holes. Okay, but it's saying from The Mummy. It probably should say The Mummy / The Mummy Returns, if that's the case. Again, this is my glaring issue with the prop store. They really need to screen these pieces properly, even reach out to the prop masters, the costumers, the OGs, the people that made this. So it seems like they've got trousers from The Mummy Returns, and then they've got the top from The Mummy. So there you go. That's a bit of a glaring issue right there. Like, they've used screen grabs from The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, but again, it just seems like the description and the heading as well is a bit all over the place. There you go, guys. Those are some screen used The Mummy and The Mummy Returns pieces. Even though that last particular listing is a bit iffy and a bit out of sorts, it's still cool to see these pieces nonetheless. Considering how obsessed I am with The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, I still think The Mummy Returns definitely is on par with the first one. The first one is just fucking perfection. Like, adventure at its finest. And The Mummy Returns, absolutely solid sequel. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Really love doing these videos, these screen use prop videos. Next week, I'm going to be doing one on The Phantom, the Billy Zane 1996 film. I've got some goodies here to show you guys at the beginning with the shout out section. Really excited. And I'm going to be sporting this bad boy for the entire video. It's going to get hot, but it's going to be fun. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.